We need you, and I'm going to tell you why. My mother and I came to Atlanta just 1 year ago. We fled Charleston, South Carolina for many reasons. It's not a friendly place for a young black boy. I was just 14. When we left, I was already acutely aware of the persistent and oppressive racism there. And while our entire family lives there, it just wasn't a supportive environment. In fact, when my father died, I was consumed with grief, and no one knew how to help or acknowledge it. I felt so alone, and I needed adults to help me. My mom couldn't do it all on her own, so I was left in my sorrow, and I completely withdrew from my life. My mother got an offer to work at a restaurant in Atlanta, and she knew we needed to leave Charleston. We had nothing, but we left. We moved to the heart of Atlanta on the west side on a hope and a prayer, and I am so, so glad we did. My mom saw a sign close to where we live for the At Promise Center, and she decided to just walk in, see what it was, and I'll tell you what it was: a lifesaver. Honestly, it almost feels fictional that my mom just saw the sign, walked in, and things just started getting better immediately. Chris 180 offers therapy to youth at the center in a relaxed way, and it was just what I needed: access to adults who were trained to help me adjust and manage all the very big emotions I was having: isolation, grief, sadness, anger, anxiety, depression, and I was dealing with my own suicidal ideation. I had immediate access to therapy, and Brittany, my amazing therapist, has been instrumental in helping me improve my mental health. She is the cornerstone of my growth and represents hope for me. And this is what had happened in the past year since coming to Atlanta and engaging with Chris 180. I feel comfortable, confident in my skin, and I love being in a community that cherishes the Black experience. I had no friends when we arrived. Thank you. I had no friends when we got here, but today I've made a large group. I'm a straight A student. I play the baritone in my band. I'm in student government, not president, but we're trying. I am involved in a group of student artists making our own music, and over the summer, I worked for the city of Atlanta as a camp counselor. Also, lastly, I've just started my sophomore year at Carver STEAM at Atlanta Public Schools. Thank you, thank you. I am thriving, and this is what it boils down to. I never had that confidence of community behind me that Chris 180 offers. It was a game changer. I struggle to find the words to tell you the impact of not having people to rely on, no adults or friends for support. Now that I have it, though, I've learned to trust people and know how to build meaningful relationships. I no longer want to be a hermit or feel like a burden. I now have that confidence of community I was missing. It's been a rebirth, and Chris 180 propels me further. Also, my mom's also being supported, and she's comfortable now. Life is full of possibilities, once again. I was always a good kid, but I just didn't have the tools to process the circumstances that were out of my control, and I'm no longer left to extrapolate outcomes to situations that are way above my limit as someone who's just 15. With the help of Chris 180, I can focus on the business of just being a kid and keep my options open. I'm sure now that my future is bright. Thank you.